Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Ulf. And thank you for joining this session and congratulations. You are almost done. This is the last session of the Dev Track today. My name is Simon. I'm Director Product here at Spryker. Me and my team helping to bring our amazing products to life. And recently I discovered my passion for 3D printing. Is there anybody else in the audience who's also into 3D printing, playing around with these printers? Really? We definitely need to chat later in the lunch break. Cool, great. And today we are talking about how to launch and how to create and launch custom applications for the Spryker application composition platform. And I'm not doing this trip alone here. With me on stage are my beautiful colleagues, Alberto Raya, the solution architect from Smart Commerce.
Hello.
And Thomas Böhme, the director of alliances and channels from Room AG.
Hi, guys.
If you already enjoyed these previous two sessions, right, with George, Jürgen, this sticks definitely forever. This sticks forever. George and Rachel about Pass Plus, Dennis and Alberto, Dennis and Pedro with the SDK. You have already gained up a lot of knowledge. And in this session, you learn how to combine these two pieces of information to create an application. But before we start with any kind of product, we need to do a little bit of research, isn't it? And Thomas here spends the last couple of weeks on thousands of different conferences with tons of different impressions and talks. And Thomas, let's share a little bit your knowledge and learning out of these conferences and tell us a little bit more about what drives the B2B industry today.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. And yeah, great to be here on this stage, especially. And it wasn't 1,000, honestly, hundreds. But yeah, the industry is moving forward. I think, yeah, you all know the pandemic situation changed a lot of things. And whereas cloud computing or composable architecture, headless approaches are coming more and more commodity. There are new topics on the horizon, metaverse, NFT. Maybe you can raise your hand if you are already starting a journey with these topics, or is it completely new? I see only a few. So it means that which is quite normal because it's such a new topic, and some of them are myths and also maybe other things. I'm not here for my presentation to demystify these things, but I'm here on our booth. So if you're interested to learn more about this thing, let me know. No, my passion is about 3D commerce, virtual commerce, how to name it, virtual and augmented reality, and therefore, I do love in-store experience. But I also love online shopping, and would be great, in my point of view, to combine the best of these both worlds to have a great experience with that. And we do have the chance right now. So we have the technology, we have all the tools in place, and it's not just about gamification at the end, but it's also, it really makes a benefit for you using these technologies. If you are having an online shop and using technologies like these, because what we see so far is a significant change on the conversion rate. So people are using the chance to see a 3D model or even use that for augmented reality. So they're much more likely to buy these products. So we see conversion rates up to 250%. And it's not just about the conversion rate itself to make money with that, but it's also about to lower the return rate. Imagine you want to buy a sofa or furniture, and then having the chance to not just to use the size, change the colors, and then bring it with augmented reality to your living room. So how great is that? And typically then you're not in the same way then to see, okay, I can manage this. It fits in my living room. I will buy this. And typically then, of course, you are not willing to return this to you. Yeah, before I will dig into detail, a few sentences about Room itself. So it's not a misspelling. So it's with 3O because we live and breathe the 3 dimensions. We live in a real 3-dimensional world, but we realized, yeah, business applications are typically in the 2D world. So it's pictures, videos, text. Online gamers, are there online gamers here as well? Much more as with the metaverse. Very good. So I think that's the normal. Having 3D worlds in online games, that's quite normal. But for business application, it isn't. And yeah, so Room is now 5 years old, and we had a tremendous growth, especially in the last 2 years, which I think is no surprise, as we are just also offering virtual experiences for virtual and hybrid events. We are very much and very proud on our clients we reached so far, and but also on the innovation awards, like the German Innovation Awards 2 times in a row, meaning constantly innovating in these things, and especially also very proud on this article from the Forbes magazine about democratizing the metaverse. Why? It's because our solution is for anyone on any device and any time. So you don't need a VR headset to have this experience. You just need an internet browser, and it's on for the techies in the room. It's based on WebGL standard, so you can just use it in a browser without installation, with an API providing you to integrate this to other systems. And besides these, we are very much focused to lower the sizes of the models, because this is essential. If you have typical online experience today, it's like a few seconds, and then the user want to change if it's not really loading. And typically with other solutions, you need a high-end gaming PC or VR headset. With our solution, you don't. And also what we very much focused was how to create 3D models at the end, because typically, merchants don't have these things. Some of them in the manufacturing industry have 3D files, like CAD files, but the majority of companies don't have it. So therefore, we use a special technology making pictures and then generating 3D models out of it. And the main platform consists of 4 products. So one is the Space Cloud for promoting, but also for education, promoting products and services with avatars, with voice chat, with intelligent artificial digital assistants, with integrated with NFT. So it's not just a traditional payment process. You can also integrate this with NFT assets, especially if it comes to artwork. And then we do have the Product Cloud, which is obviously then for product visualization. There's an Event Cloud solution, very much focused on these virtual and hybrid events, what we have today, especially for the audience watching this online, but in 3D, what we have. And there's the Immerse Cloud for immersive experience using augmented reality. And coming more deeper and getting to the point is that so the Product Cloud itself, typically you're using Blender or Cinema 4D, Maya. That's the typical products which our 3D artists are using to create these models, and then to combine these things and use this. So we created the Product Cloud, and of course it's a tool to embed these 3D models then in a e-commerce system. And because seeing is believing, I'm not just here to present some PowerPoint slides, but also to show something. We have much more on our booth, so it's worth to come. For example, we have a T-Rex in augmented reality, and I think that's great. I can promise having this experience. But with my mental capabilities, I was reading Boris' mind, and therefore, by coincidence, we have the same product. For example, if you use this nice car and your flux compensator is broken and you need a new one, then typically, of course, you might have the number, the 12-digit number of this spare part, or you could use our solution and then just have it with annotations and also with the chance to integrate this to an online shop for buying spare parts, and it's kind of this decomposition. So it's not just the 3D model itself. So, for example, you are then in the store, you want to need this spare part, then you just see it, what is broken in that case, and then you can order it. So it's much simpler as in these days. And it's not just the product itself, it's also all about configuration. So typically it's not just that one product fits all. So therefore, we do have also configuration for more simpler ones, like this trolley on one hand, or a kitchen on the other hand. And but it's also possible to use that with complex machines, not just changing the colors, the size, but also add things, complement things like, especially if it comes to manufacturing. This is what people normally use for car configurators, but these are very simple. It's just the color and then the interior and the wheel. So not a lot of things what you can change, but in the machinery industry, in the manufacturing industry is much more. And how about these amazing things using that with your Spryker system? And how this will work? Therefore, I would like to hand back to Simon.
All right. Thank you, Thomas, for these insights. And it seems to be that 3D conquering more and more commerce, and I can't wait to see it, especially in the B2B spare part after sales market. But before we actually can enjoy 3D models in commerce applications, we need to think about the challenges when it comes for creating these kind of integrations. And Elena also mentioned this previously in the keynote. You as a system integrator, you want to be fast, right? Building this integration fast, integrating fast. You want to reuse these integrations in multiple different projects. You need to ensure that the projects and the integrations are up to date. You need to run it compliant according to security and operations. And at the end, you need to compose everything, right? So you need to ensure composability, that everything works seamlessly together. Big challenges. And the good thing is I have a solution for you today. I'm super proud that we made a big step towards our vision of composable commerce with the recent release of Spryker's application composition platform. So how cool would it be to be part as an engineer or system integrator on this kind of platform? Today, if you open up the platform catalog, there are all apps provided by Spryker, right? And I would like to open up another chapter today with you and share with us our vision how you can be enabled to contribute to that platform. Spryker is going to release and open up his internal development tool set and enable you to create third-party service integrations for this particular platform. And we're talking about here the ACP SDK and the Quality Gate, the two previous sessions you already mentioned or listened to. And I'm super proud to hand over to Alberto. He's going to share with you his first-hand insights of building an app for the application composition platform.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. So also a warm welcome from my side. My name is Alberto. I'm working as a solution architect for the Smart Commerce. Smart Commerce is a full service provider specialized in e-commerce and focusing on B2B models. We go the whole cycle for e-commerce projects, from planning, building, running, until optimizing them. Personally, I share a long history with Spryker. I was one of the initial members developing Spryker back in 2014, 2015. And remembering back then, one of the main challenges was to create a flexible, scalable commerce solution that can adapt to any transactional model. And I think Spryker has succeeded in this. But what we see nowadays in our projects are two main issues or challenges. First, there are a ton of new ideas outside, new possibilities, new technologies, emerging models, whatever, but only a limited development capacity you have per project. So what we then see that mostly the product owners focus on rather safe bets instead of going the risky way, because they only have that limited development capacity. So they need to be risk averse. Second thing we always see is that we spend a lot of time across different projects to do the same integrations. Because, for example, we found a very good solution for a particular problem, like if we want to improve our product detail pages, we could choose Room. That's cool. So maybe we don't want to do that for only one project, but several. Okay, so we have two big challenges as a system integrator. Wouldn't it be cool to solve both of them just with a click? But before we do that, we need to think how such an integration will look like, how will it work on the Spryker ACP platform. So first of all, it needs to follow this composable commerce approach, meaning here that it will need to follow the PBC structure from Spryker. Second, it needs to be compatible with the Pass Plus offering, giving us the benefit of automated upgrades, which will lower our maintenance costs as an integrator. Third one is it needs to interact, of course, with the already existing Spryker Commerce OS solution. And nevertheless, and last but not least, we really need to focus on the business logic, either exposing that via synchronous endpoints. The developer of you might already know them as glue endpoints, or via this new asynchronous API I will focus today. So one thing to remember is that a PBC, such an integration we deploy to the ACP platform, is in the core just a small Spryker. So we can use the tools that Spryker already provides us to build such a Spryker, and it's nearly the same as building a big project for a customer. Those tools provided by Spryker, especially the SDK, with all those subparts in the SDK, Pedro and Dennis have mentioned in the previous talk, really speeds up our development as integrator and allows us to build cloud-native multi-tenancy apps with just a glimpse. So let's look at a typical development workflow. First, we need to do a project setup. You probably have already done that. And part of those project setup is to integrate the Docker SDK that is already available since a few years to spin up your local environment and really develop this, whatever you want. What is pretty new is that you can also provide a manifest file that will be taken to expose some content in the PBC catalog to show the customer really what benefits does our PBC bring to him. In addition to this manifest file, we can also create configuration parts so that he can configure this PBC to work with his Spryker. Of course, all those configurations are translatable. For our case, it's pretty simple. We can just focus on having an email and a password. And either we create a new account on the Room side, or if there's already an existing one, we can just log into that. So having done that, we can focus on creating the endpoints, exposing the business logic, either via glue APIs or via a new asynchronous mechanism. So as you probably already know and are really familiar with the glue endpoints, I will not focus on that by today, but on the asynchronous part. So there are two main possibilities here. We can either subscribe to events emitted by Spryker. One example could be here that once a product is created, we want to listen to that event that a product was created, search on the Room platform if we have a matching 3D model in our account and link both of them together to show the customer those 3D model. Another thing we could do is whenever we upload a model, a 3D model to Room, we publish an event to, on the other hand, also link both of them together. All those APIs can be generated out of an open API schema for the synchronous or out of an asynchronous async OpenAI schema for the asynchronous counterparts. And the cool thing is Spryker allows us with this open API schemas to generate all the boilerplate code with this SDK. So you don't need to focus on all the boring stuff like creating controllers, transfer objects. You all know that. But you can really put your focus on the business logic. So let's imagine we have done our business logic and it went well. We have to keep in mind that our PBC is a multi-tenant app. This means it does not only serve one Spryker instance, like a classical module, but at the same time it will service multiple Spryker instances and need to be built in a different way for that. Luckily, the SDK has covered us with that. Another tool Spryker provides, which was already presented today by the Path Plus track, is the CI/CD pipeline, which consists mainly of two things we can also hear for our PBCs. One thing is the upgrader part that will automatically upgrade all our dependencies and keep us up to date with the current Spryker versions, reducing our maintenance costs as an integrator. Secondly, it will also provide us a quality gateway to verify that our PBC we have built is compliant with all the rules from Spryker and can easily be deployed on the ACP platform and run there. So we are covered with all their SLAs and all the stuff and do not need to take care of that much. So let's have a look into those CI/CD pipeline. It will give us automated feedback whenever we push any code change. Raquel and Jürgen have gone into details in the first dev track. It also will execute compliance checks so that we can always ensure to be up to date with the Spryker best practices. If we, for whatever reason, are not compliant, it will issue us a report giving us hints what do we need to fix. So, summing it up, the Spryker tool landscape, especially the SDK, really gives us, as developers and integrators, the possibility to speed up our development workflow and increase our code quality at the same time with just a click or a type. Having done that, we can easily publish that to the PBC catalog, and Simon will now show you how that will look like to the customer, how he can then use a single click to connect that to his Spryker instance.
Thank you very much, Alberto. And we take the developer experience really serious here at Spryker because this is definitely key to a successful product and a successful application composition platform. So Alberto published now his application to the app catalog. And how does it look? Yeah, cheers. For the how does this finally look for a customer actually? Because this is super interesting for us. So we see here the catalog from the ACP, and you see the backend and the selection of the specific application, the manifest file with the content. And if we click on Connect, we make a direct sign up with the Room service in the background. And with the connection of the application, we also extend Spryker's product information management data schema with adding an additional product attribute, the Room ID. Here you can see how to manage these Room IDs for specific products with the different configurations. And if we now get a Room ID, for example, now manually from the Room backend, and enrich this in the Spryker backend with every single product. We can see in the front end for every particular product, we enriched this data set, 3D model, and a different viewer on the product detail page. That is how easy it is at the end for a customer to increase or enrich and compose their specific commerce applications. So there's also even more potential. And I would really encourage you to think about what is even more possible, right? We talked about today how to enrich and create more application for third-party services. But think about also how cool it would be to release your own commerce innovations, own products on the Spryker application composition platform and make this composable for all our customers. Benefit from a growing tool landscape, and this will definitely enable you to unlock the entire potential of this new fantastic ecosystem. If you want to learn really more about the development process and how you can be part of the game, please send us a message. And we are really looking forward to collaborate with you on shaping and pioneering the Spryker application composition platform development process. My lovely colleagues, Marvin is actually here in the audience, and Thomas, looking forward to all of your messages. With that said, I wish you all an exciting rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the talks. And there's another goodie here from Thomas. If you want to park this DeLorean, what he showed before, here on the stage maybe, or in the hall, or on the restrooms, or whatever, grab out your phone. You can scan the QR code here and enjoy the 3D model. With that said, thank you very much for joining and participating in this talk. And I hand over to Helen and Ulf.
Yeah. Round of applause for you guys. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you, Simon. We still have some minutes left for some Q&A. We give it another try. Maybe you want to wake up before you go for lunch with a perfect question for these guys. So anyone in the audience, please raise your hands, and my younger colleague Helen will run to you instantly.
Or just put your arm up into the sky if you want to see me running. That's totally fine as well. Thank you. Amazing. Or please, colleagues that are joining us online, if you have something, I'm still checking my phone, so please post some questions if you have any.
While you are thinking about your perfect question, I have a question for you, Alberto. So the tooling which we provided with the SDK, what would you say, just from a gut feeling, how much time did it spare you in developing this connectivity between the systems?
That's really hard to answer. Especially setting up the project was just one command to run. That's pretty easy. Before that, it would have taken me maybe half a day, but only because I know how to set up such projects. I have done that previously multiple times. So yeah, all in all, maybe 30 to 50% or something. It was really cool.
I think that's significant and will add up in an overall delivery. So we have a question.
Finally, thank you very much.
I'll invite you for a beer this evening because you're asking this question.
Yeah, I actually have two questions, so it's 2 beers maybe. We'll see about that. So the first one is on versioning. Yeah, you said I kind of get support that in Pass Plus, my Spryker instance is always updated and the ACP module is always up to date and compatible to that. Is there a situation in which I have to manage versioning in this scenario because my Spryker instance is not up to date and the ACP model is already updated? So how is that handled? That's the first question. And the second question would be, just one, okay.
Let's get the answer, but we have you in the queue for the second question as well.
So maybe I can take on that as well. So basically, you can imagine a PBC, such an integration app, as a small Spryker. And all the things for a normal Spryker project apply for that as well. So, of course, for the moment, you only get updates for patch and for minor releases from the Pass Plus. So major upgrades need to be done by yourself. That also applies for PBC. But then all the cool tooling around is just applied as it is for your normal, I would say, project. So a PBC is not really a module like you had before, like a product module or the Adyen payment module or whatever. It is really its own application that is running. Does that answer your question?
If you want to, I can add a bit more. So basically, behind the scenes, what we have is just Composer update. So basically, if something can be updated, the Composer update will update it. If something cannot, then cannot, and then probably you will need to do something on top. Thank you. Second question.
Yeah. So the second question would be that you said this capability is running somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. So if I have a Spryker instance, for example, in Northern America, and another one running in, let's say, the Pacific region, will you have these capabilities available for every region of the world, or how is that working then?
That's something I can't answer, sorry. I was just developing one and deploying it, and it was running. Maybe Dennis can.
Oh, shall I run to you? I mean...
I can run. I feel young at the moment.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So talking about capabilities, because they are multi-tenant SaaS applications, they by default will be, of course, deployed in one region that we would need to, they will be available everywhere, but they will be deployed in one region first. But then we can talk from there, because it depends on the business case. When we were talking about, we had this conversation, but not talking about availability of features, because now, let's say, the response time and connectivity is quite good between different continents. We were talking about, let's say, complex PaaS markets, such as like China, for example, where you need to get very special compatibility with PaaS in there. And for that, we also thought about a feature to get the same capability deployed multiple times, basically, because it's anyway 10 multi-tenant applications, and we can decide together with you, with our partner, who build this capability on how it should be consumed in the best way. Okay?
And of course, we are going to converge to multi-tenant, multi-regional solutions as well, eventually, as an option. Thank you, Dennis, for that answer. I think the time is up. So thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you, Simon. Round of applause for them.
I feel like a Baywatch, you know, that thing.
So to wrap it up, what did we see today? I do think you had a wonderful journey into the Spryker universe and how we are seeing the solution portfolio and our offering we put out in the market there with the SDK, which we want to consider to be the golden key for whatever code which hits our platform to be supported and kept within guardrails by the SDK, independently who is writing the code, by the way. So SDK is a tooling we are using in our engineering teams as well, but technology partners, solution integrators, and customers with their technical teams should make use of SDK more and more so that we can really converge to have a certain code quality. Then you have seen our platform, which is supposed to run, to operate, and to manage the life cycle of this code bases, which we are putting on the platform. And for me, pretty exciting, the app composition platform, which we launched today officially and which we launched from a technical perspective the last weeks, is just an incredible evolutionary step, because that will leapfrog the market where Spryker can not only talk about composable platform, but also about the composition tooling so that our customers can really take whatever we and our ecosystem provide and compose their own unique solution to their sophisticated transactional challenges they want to solve. So great coverage of all those different pieces today.
You didn't ask about my takeover, so I will answer anyway. So as a solution architect at Spryker, I feel quite comfortable because a lot of tools, they do everything instead of me right now. So if you want to join us, we still have some opening positions. Contact me on LinkedIn, so we'll get some money for you, or whatever. Apart from that, this is the end of the development stage for today, but as a short notice, we will have some business, inspirational, and product stages open, so please join. We will have tons of interesting stuff, but you will not have these amazing hosts anymore for today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch, enjoy the networking opportunities during lunchtime. Thanks for joining this developer stage today, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.